Well, welcome to Bourbon Writers and another Blinded by Spice episode. Tonight, we're going to blind the Old Forester Whiskey Row. That's the 1870 original batch, the 1897 Bottled in Bond, the 1910 Old Fine Whiskey, and the 1920 Prohibition style. If you've not tasted the Old Forester lineup, we recommend getting it looks like a gift set. I think it's either 3 or 4 bottles of the Whiskey Row series, like in half size, and it's a good way to get into the Old Forester without having to buy all 4 bottles individually. If you don't know a lot about the Old Forester lineup, it's kind of related to the Old Forester distillery history. In 1870, they came out with the first bottled bourbon, supposedly, and this is to celebrate that original batch. In 1897 was the Bottled in Bond Act, and this basically celebrates that history where bourbon was regulated to be bottled in bond, 4 years, 100 proof, and we'll give you a little bit of information on the screen about what the Bottled in Bond Act was. In 1910, I believe there was a fire at the Old Forester distillery, and they had to re-put some of their bourbon into new barrels. So it was kind of like the first double barreling or double oaking of a bourbon, and this celebrates that year. And then, of course, in 1920, when Prohibition came around, Old Forester was one of the few distilleries that was allowed to make whiskey under the guide of it being medicinal whiskey, and they had to up the proof, in this case, to 115. So all these Old Forester lineup represent a different year in the Old Forester history, and they also represent different flavor profiles and different proof levels. Well, tonight we're going to go through all 4 of them in a blind test and see which one I like the best, which one stays, and which one goes. So when we come back, we'll have our blind flight set up, and we'll get right into it, eliminating one Old Forester at a time. Okay, we're back. My lovely assistant has poured these fine Old Forester bourbons. I don't know which one is which. Glass A, B, C, and D, and we'll start on our left and then go back to the right and start eliminating one. Okay, first off, glass A. Typical Old Forester aroma. Cheers. A little bit of spice up front. Fairly sweet. Definitely Old Forester. A little milder than I remember. I had 1910 just the other day. What was it? It was a Mystery Monday. That's what it was. And I don't think that's the 1910. The 1910 had some spice to it. Okay, next, glass B. Cheers. Night and day difference. Not only the spice, but the proof. There's a definite difference in the proof between A and B. This is a lot proofier, which means it's probably the 1897 Bottled in Bond or the 1920. Those would be the 2 highest proofs. Yeah, that's got some Kentucky hug going on there that I didn't get on the left. Wow. A lot of flavor in that one on B. Let's go to glass C. Cheers. Less baking spices than B, but more than A. And I say a little more flavor than A. B packed the most punch as far as flavor and proof. This is kind of in between A and B. It's good. In fact, all of them are good. Okay, I still have no clue. So let's go to glass D. They all smell about the same. Some a little bit, the aroma's a little bit stronger, but all the same kind of character. Cheers. This one tastes a little bit different from the three over here. This is same kind of baking spice up front, but I get more fruit out of glass D. Very nice. I say these three are more molasses brown sugar. This one is also sweet, but got more fruit. No clue. This one definitely had the most punch as far as flavor and proof, and I think I may know what this one is. Not sure. Okay, we're going to go back through and eliminate one. It's good, very flavorful. Back to punchy B. That's got a load of spice, and I don't know if it's rye, but it's very peppery, and it's got some proof to it. I'm thinking that that is the 1920, because there's a good bit of proof difference on the 1920 from all the rest, and that definitely has got some punch to it. Back to A. I would say that A is the smoothest of the four. It's got a lot milder baking spice up front. Same kind of flavor profile on these three. D is the exception. But not near as proofy, not near as spicy. And even the finish is light compared to the other three. Well, I'm going to have to say that out of the four, and they're all very good, A is probably my least favorite. And you'll see on the screen here what A is. So, I eliminated A, probably the one I drank the most. That's the way it happens in a blind, right? Okay, we've eliminated glass A. Back to B. Of course, now that I've had a couple sips of this, the proof is not as prevalent, and I get more of the flavor, the spice. Very nice. But still, it's got a lot of punch to it. I mean, it's very bold. It's probably the boldest of all four, and certainly the boldest of the three that's left. All right, back to glass C, is it? Yeah. C is kind of a milder version of B. And I say that because D is totally different flavor profile. Aroma is very similar, but the flavor in D has more fruit in it. This is kind of like very bold, something different. Back to glass D. Nice, but definitely a different flavor profile from these two. Well, I'm going to have to eliminate B, even though very likely it's the 1920, because I like a little bit milder proof. I'm really, 100 to 110 is my sweet spot. I get above that or below that, I don't enjoy it as much. So it could be because I'm getting a lot of proof on there, but more so because I have some cask strengths that I love. More so, it's the spice, the peppery spice, that not only you get on the tip of the tongue that goes into the finish. I don't like it as well as these two. The palate or the taste and the finish are better for me for C&D. So that's fourth place. This is third place. Well, now it's just down to two. We need to determine a champ, right? Okay, I'm going to start back on, go back this way this time. Glass D. A little bacon spice up front. It's sweet. You get some medium to dark fruit, molasses, brown sugar, and kind of a good balance between the sugar and the fruit. It's nice. Back to glass C. Definitely a little bit bolder taste, a little bit more pronounced on the baking spice. The proof doesn't seem to be much different between the two, unlike glass B, which was definitely higher. These two seem to be closer. I don't really pick the proof up as much in these two. And both of them have a good finish. All right, we started off with that. Back to this. Do this one more time. It's got a nice balance to it between the sweetness and the fruit. Back to C, and we're going to pick a winner. Oh, this is tough. I mean, they're almost equally good. When I say almost, this has got that brown sugar molasses and it's got it down pat. I mean, it's fantastic. This has got that brown sugar and fruit, kind of like a strawberry, medium to dark fruit, a good balance, and it's fantastic. It's like today, because tomorrow may be different, right? Today, which one do I like better? I have to say, Glass D today, by a smidgen, a small amount. I like better. By photo finish. Glass D is the winner. So we're just going to start off to the closest one and do a reveal and see which one is which. So this is the 1920. Let's see which one, this one. I'm saying it was Glass B, third place. And I'm correct. I thought I had that one nailed pretty good. Let's go for the 1910. See when that was. 1910 is Glass C. Oh, okay. Second place. That's reasonable. Okay, next, the 1897. Bottled in Bond. This was a birthday gift for me, and I was like, it was actually the last one in the series, I think, that no, I'm sorry, I apologize. It was the third one in the series that I got. The 1870 was the last one that I bought. So which one is this? It's Glass D. It's the winner. Okay. Well, that means that poor old 1870, our 90 proof variety, was Glass A. Last place. You know, when I did a review of the 1870 before, I always thought like it was kind of a milder version of the Whiskey Row series. I don't know if it was intended to be like the entry level, because it's 90 proof. You start there and then you go to, I don't know, 1897 or 1910. And then, of course, the last one you'd want to go to is the 1920. Just because if you're not ready for that proof, it will just like, psh, you're on the floor. Most times I stay within that 100 to 110. And certainly the 1897 as the winner tonight at 100 proof, that's my sweet spot. So not really a surprise for me. It was like the 1910, the 1897, either one of them could have won because they are my favorites of the Whiskey Row series. And I kind of go back and forth between the two. So please like this video and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this, because we're trying every day to make more and more shows available to you and really kind of broaden the kind of bourbon shows that you see. So, as always, please drink responsibly, never drink and drive, and we'll see you next time. If this is the 1920, I hope it's not the last one I drink, because I'm going to on the floor.